Today we're going to be going over logarithms and what they are at an essential level. Now, logarithms are very hard to understand, and I struggled with them when I first learned about them. So I figured it was a probably pretty important topic to kind of go over and see if I could help you guys with it. So basically, as you can see on the screen, a logarithm represents how many times its base is multiplied by itself to get the input. So it's the inverse of a power, if you guys remember what that was from the exponent videos, and can be used to get a power down to a level where you can actually use it in a more familiar way. So, as you can see here, this is the base right here. If there's no base and it just says log, that means it's a base of 10. And in most cases, that's what you're going to use. This is what I call the input. It's just the number that you're putting into the log, and this output is the number that you get out of the log. So, a quick demonstration of that here would be, let's say, log of 10, right? This has a base of 10. So 10 to the power of this output right here is going to get this input. That's another way to think of it. So think of 10 to the what power is going to give you 10. That's another way to write this. If I were to put 100 here, that'd be 10 to the what power gives you 100. And as a side note, if you have a number up here, let's say you're given a 9 here, or this is 10 to the power of 9, this is going to automatically give you whatever this exponent is up here. So if it's anything, if this base matches this, so let's get another example here. And you have a log with a base of, let's say, 4, right? You put a 4 in here, you're going to get a 1. If it's 4 to the power of, let's say, 6, you're going to get a 6. It undoes that exponential. And so let's see where this would be useful. If you have 4 to the power of x, right? This will get rid of the 4 and bring down that x for you. So if you're trying to solve for x, but the x is up in an exponent, this is going to be very beneficial because now you actually have the x by itself. Now, a lot of times it's not going to be simple as this, and generally it's going to be easier to just use a log without the same base as this, like just base 10, right? But if you use the same base, that's just going to get rid of that. So this is very beneficial if you have just a 10 in there, or let's say it's like a 10 times something else on the outside, right? This is when it would be most beneficial to you. Let's go move it up. So all you're going to need to know is that whatever power this is raised to is what's going to be brought down. So another example of this, let's pull up another log here, is going to be, let's do log base 2, right? 32 is going to be 5, 64 is going to be 6, right? And as you can see, this number right here is growing a lot faster than this number over here. So if you haven't seen the video on how graphs look, this is what a log graph looks like. And the reason that it's so slow to grow is because the difference between going from 10 to 100 is 90, while the difference between 100 and 1,000 is 900. So as you can see, the numbers difference gets a lot bigger on the x factor just to move it up one y value, if that makes sense to you guys. So to go up 1, for the first step, you have to go over 10, and then you have to go up 90 more just to go up another step, and then 900 more after that. That's why you'll see logarithmic graphs for extremely large numbers or very fast exponential growth, because it's an easier way of visualizing it rather than just seeing this really, really big graph that stretches super high and you can't even read the numbers. So that's the application of where you would use logs in a more practical sense. But other than that, they're mostly used as a tool for getting exponents down. And in another video, I'll show you more rules about that and how all that works. But for the most part, all you need to know is logs undo exponents, and that's your main way of getting exponents down. Like as I showed earlier, like 4 to the x, that's your main way of getting that x down. So I hope that made sense to you guys. I know it's a really difficult topic, but I hope that it was able to help you guys at least understand it a little better.